And truly, even before you there came true prophets to your forefathers and forefathers' forebears before them, long before the true prophets from the line of the seven from the line of Enoch came to your forefathers and forefathers' ancestors' forebears, in order to instruct them in the truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation. But they rejected and slandered, calumniated, and falsified the teaching of the prophets, and the same was done by those scribes who were instructed by the prophets to put the teaching into writing, write down, record it, so that their work was merely lies and deception. And truly, if the prophets had written the writing themselves, and if your forefathers and forefathers' ancestors' forebears had felt with their hands or read the writing, if they had been capable of writing, reading, had not been illiterate ones, then in their knowledgeness of the truth and in their self-deception, self-delusion, of suggestive trickery, magic, they would have attacked, accused the work of the prophets as being evident activities of the shadow world, activities of hell, and would have killed, murdered, the true prophets as servants of the devil. So the matter would not have rested with willingness, striving for persecution and killing. If the true prophets had brought the writing of the teaching of truth to your forefathers and to your forefathers and forebears before them, ancestors' forebears, if they had been capable of reading, then they would have considered this to be the work of the devil, because it would not have been a writing by their scribes and would not have been accepted. Therefore it is recommended to you that you learn at first hand directly from the true prophets and from the true handed-down knowledge, but beware of the false handed-down knowledge of the scribes, because their teachings are falsified and far from all truthfulness. But the teaching of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation shall be given to you in good word language, and in clear writing as the source book of the truth, when the last true prophet of the line of Enoch teaches the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, so that it may remain word for word in its expression, explanation, presentation, and may be understandable to you, because then in the new time you are literally capable of reading and writing, and understand the words of the teaching of the prophets, so that miscomprehension, misunderstandings vanish from you. Truly, if the source of wisdom, book of wisdom, could have been given to you by a true prophet already before that far-off time, then it would have been, if it had been feasible, possible. But it can only be possible when the necessary contingencies, conditions, will be given, so that the source of wisdom, book of wisdom, reaches the hands of all those who are ready for it. Therefore it is still necessary to give you a deferment until the new time. However, after that you will no longer be able to trot out the usual pretexts, excuses, that you had not been brought the real truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, in the form of the teaching of the prophets as the Goblet of Truth. And truly, if it had been determined that more true prophets would come to you, then they would have appeared to you, but not as fabulated, invented liberators, angels, or as supposed envoys of gods and tin gods, because true prophets are people of your kind, human beings, and therefore also in the shape of people of your kind, human form. Therefore true prophets cannot appear to you as higher Wesen Heighten, because this would merely make you more confused than you already are. However, just as your forefathers and forefathers' ancestors' forebears, before you mocked the true prophets and lent their ear, believed in the false prophets, so you are doing the same, but by mocking the true prophets, you are only mocking yourselves. Truly, walk over the earth and see how miserable has been the end of those who treated the true prophets as liars, and walk over the earth and look how people of your kind, fellow human beings, are at present wallowing in non-right and killing, in jealousy, hatred, lovelessness and battle war, and do not know either peace or freedom or consonance, harmony, because they do not follow the teaching of the prophets, and they treat them as liars, persecute them, slander, calumniate them, dishonor them, and strive to kill them. But consider that the true prophets do not allow themselves to be driven forth from you, Rather, they grant you forgiveness for what you do to them and continue to fulfill their duty that they take loud on themselves unbidden voluntarily, in order to instruct you, you who deprive your thoughts and your feelings, in the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life. And there is no doubt about the righteousness, conscientiousness of the true prophets. Truly, everything that dwells and moves in the night and day belongs to the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, but all is given to you by it so that you may look after it and bring it to blossom. Through the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, through the creation of the firmament's universe, and the earth's world's planets, which itself enjoys nothing of food and drink such as you need them, everything is given to you which you need for life, food and drink and everything that you desire. And through the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, it is recommended to you that you dedicate yourselves to the guidelines, guiding rules of the laws and recommendations, so that you may be all true to the laws and true to the recommendations, and that there may be none amongst you who places fabulated, invented gods or tin gods or people of your kind, human beings, as gods or emissaries of God, or as representatives, substitutes, at the side of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation. Truly, you shall be afraid of what you do that is non-rightful, because in its good time all your non-right will have an effect on yourselves if you do not follow the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation. Then you are acting, living falsely towards your innermost nature of the spirit, so that you form your inner nature falsely and are disobedient to yourselves. If you remain saved from your own disobedience, if you turn to the truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, then you are bestowing yourselves benevolence and an open blissful happiness. However, if you turn away from the truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, then do not be surprised if you are pursued by misfortune, such as no people of your kind, fellow human beings, can take away from you. So it pursues you until you become rightful and become connected to the truth, and if you are willing to make a bond with the truth, then you will be touched by happiness, because it has the might to give you your inner peace, freedom and consonance harmony, so that you may also live in love and take joy in your own existence life. The truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation does not demand that you be subservient to it on submissiveness or be its servant's hands with hell press. Rather, it recommends that you become knowledgeable ones who have knowledge, and wise ones in uncoercedness, voluntariness, by dedicating your existence life to the truth. And if you ask yourselves what thing is for you the most important proof of your existence life, then you recognize the truth and the truthfulness, irrefutability, and all things of the existence and the witness of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation. And these things are obvious, recognizable to you through the teaching of the prophets, through the Goblet of Truth, so that you may understand, and so that you are all warned through the teaching against doing things that are non-rightful, and the teaching of truth is given so that it reaches everyone amongst you who want to be reached by it. And truly, you cannot really bear witness to the existence of other mights that are equal to the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, and if you place gods and tin gods or people of your kind, human beings, next to the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, then all of that is only the work of people of your kind, work of human beings. And truly, if gods or tin gods are named, then they are only people of your kind, human beings, to whom a high designation title of God or tin God has been imputed and bestowed, awarded. But truly these cannot be set as the equivalent of or placed next to the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation. Truly, the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation is the only one of its nature, kind, form, and it is far from beyond all those things, gods and tin gods and people of your kind, human beings, which you place at its side.